So we've downloaded Cubase 12 and installed it. We've saved all our preferences from Cubase 11. Now it's time to launch it and see if it all works. In the last video I did, I went through the process of downloading and installing Cubase 12 and of saving the preferences out of Cubase 11. In fact, one of the things I didn't do in that video was save my preferences. I did that off camera, and I also went into the activation manager off camera. Now, as you can see, the activation manager shows that I've activated Cubase Pro 12. When I launched it, it said not activated, and there was a nice red button that said activate. Much to my pleasure and surprise, I clicked on the activate button, and almost instantly it went from not activated to activated. So I think we can safely close that and say that it's job done with that for the time being. So now, onward. We need to have a look to see if it all works. So as the man said, here we go. Now that's interesting. Getting settings from previous program version. That never used to happen. There was a comment on the video that I did before this to say that when I said it would load with the factory defaults, it wasn't a true statement. If that's universally true, this is a major improvement in the way Cubase upgrades from version to version, because from Cubase, back in the woods, through all the different 0.5 versions, right up to Cubase 11, you had to do a lot of messing about to get your settings transferred over. So we will see what happens. So as I suspected, it's taken a while to initialize on its VST3 plugins. So we may take a short break. I'll be back soon. Well, there you go. We've loaded up. And it has loaded up with all the projects that I've been working on recently, showing it's using my default location from before. This is looking good. Let's load that FYS mix template and see what else it's remembered. So it took a while to scan the VST plugins. It's loaded everything without muttering about missing plugins. So the next thing to do is to have a look, see what's happened. So we'll go to our preferences first. And we want to go to the metering appearance. Well, that's good, because it looks to me like it has remembered how I set the meters up to be, rather than its default cold blue appearance. This is all looking funky, this. So, preference presets. Hey, look at that. When I save my preference presets, I save them as Cubase 11 to Cubase 12. That's good. Right, now then, colours. Oh, look at this. Right, now then, let's go to Project. Project Color Setup. Color set. Looks like it has imported the color set. Oh, aren't we having fun? Right, and now the other thing was Studio Setup. Right. It's imported my driver correctly. I've got my sends set up. Yep. My latency is all over the place because I've had it set to, if I just pull the control panel up, I've had the buffer size set to 4096 because I've been mixing rather than 256, which is where I have it when I'm recording. If I set it back to 256, we should see the input latency drop considerably. Yeah. Okay, so we'll be happy. I'll just reset that while I'm at it, because I want to carry on mixing. I'm not worried about the latency if I'm mixing. So the other thing on here was a generic device, which it hasn't brought in. Generic remote. I want to import my generic remote. And there we are. That should now all be imported and super duper. And lower zone of the project window. Okay. That's a warning, isn't it? I wonder how that's going to work with Do It. Anyway, that's a different question. Well, super duper. Okay, the other thing to look at was our plugin manager. And look at that. For the first time, it's brought through the Vst Path settings. Now, I can see off screen, and I'll put it up on screen for you, the plugin paths that I saved out in that plugin report.txt file. And they are all there. Super. First time ever that my Native Instruments plugins have been there at the first time of asking. And it's brought up my personal set of plugins rather than the default factory set. Well, isn't that good? Super. So super. So, a lot of what I said in part 1 really wasn't right. They fixed it. Brilliant. But if you have found these videos to be of any value, or they've given you some ideas, or even shown you bits of the system that you didn't really think were there, feel free to give it a like, and you can buy me a coffee at the link below. So now that we've got Cubase 12 up and running, I'm going to go and make some music, and until next time, you take care of yourselves.